welcome back to the Crack Mug. The incredible texture and flavor of olive oil cake is absolutely amazing. And if you've never had it, you need to change that now. Look at that simple cake that hails from the Mediterranean, where for centuries olive oil has been an integral part of the culture and cuisine. The cake was very popular with Romans and ancient Greeks. In fact, the first known recipe was published in 1891 by Pellegrino Ortusi, and it was called, apologies Italy for my pronunciation, I'm sure it sucks. Oh, okay, I'll get it right. Oh my God. La scienza in cucina, l'arte de mangiare bene. Whew. I'm sure I blew that. Sorry, Italy. When translated, simply means science in the kitchen and the art of eating well. Households would make this cake, and many people could tell just by tasting the cake, they could identify the olive oil and where it came from and who made it. That's incredible. I love that. You can play around with this cake and its flavors. We'll talk about that at the end of the video when I get to taste it. So please give this video a thumbs up and let's get into that kitchen and make olive oil cake with lemon. Or something else. Come on. We will need a 9-inch cake pan. I'm using a springform one, but a regular one is fine. Give it a nice coating of olive oil. It is going in for a heat treatment after all. If you're using a regular cake pan, put a little bit of parchment paper on the bottom before you add the olive oil. White chocolate. I know, it's a contradiction. It's not really chocolate, we know it. But I promise you, if you use this, you will not taste it in the cake. In a microwave-safe bowl, we're going to heat that in about 15-20 second spurts until it is melted. Still a few little lumps there, but stir it until those are melted. That looks quite good. Here I have a half a cup of olive oil. Use a nice quality olive oil. Let's add that to our chocolate and give it a nice mix until it's well combined. They will get along very well. There, perfectly smooth. It's still quite warm. We don't want to use this just yet because we don't want scrambled eggs. I'm going to let this sit here about 5 to 10 minutes. You can make this cake, of course, by hand or with a handheld mixer. I'm using a stand mixer because it's just so much easier. But yes, absolutely by hand, not a problem. Into my bowl goes my chocolate olive oil mix. To that, I'm going to add 5 eggs. I'm using the paddle attachment. We're not looking for any air in this. It's the complete opposite. It's more of a dense, close crumb cake. I'm going to do this on low speed, but make sure those eggs are completely incorporated. Looking good. To that, we're going to add 190 grams, that's 1 cup of granulated sugar, 145 grams, that's 2/3 of a cup, of plain yogurt. Not the Greek stuff, it's too thick. If you have Greek yogurt, you could add maybe a tablespoon or 2 of milk or water to it. The zest of 2 lemons. I have the juice from those 2 lemons. It's about 3.5 tablespoons. Let's get these mixed in until fully incorporated. In full clarity, I got a little vigorous with my speed here, and so I ended up splashing this right out over everything. It's on the toaster, the counter. Oops, almost forgot my vanilla extract. It is 3/4 of a teaspoon. Let's pop that in there. To that we're going to add 1 cup, that's 100 grams of almond flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and a pinch of nutmeg. A pinch to me is about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Let's get these combined. That took like 10 seconds. Here I have 1 cup of plain all-purpose flour, that's 140 grams. We're going to add that in finally. We don't want to overmix it. In fact, I can finish it by hand if need be. That was 20 seconds. Stop and clean your bowl. I'm actually happy with that. I'm just Gonna take it off and finish it by hand if need be. That is looking pretty smooth. It was only in the mixer there for a total of 40 seconds. I'm just going to continue just mixing it to the end with my spatula. Clean the sides of your bowl. My God, this cake is so easy. Okay, I would say that is just combined. No real lumps in there. The last thing we want is globs of flour in there. I can smell the lemon, and I can actually smell the olive oil too. And this is where my microphone died. Pop this into a preheated oven that's 325 degrees Fahrenheit, 162 degrees Celsius for between 55 and 65 minutes. Test it with a skewer or a toothpick and make sure it comes out clean. Beautiful light golden brown color. We're going to let this rest here for about 10 minutes and then we'll take it out of the pan. Okay, it's been sitting here for 10 minutes. We're going to pop it out of its tin. Just going to run a knife around the edge. Okay, here goes. Beautiful. It's quite dark around the edge, a little darker than I normally like it. And that is actually because of the black pan. There are actually bands you can get now to wrap around your baking tin. It is soaked in water first, squeezed out, and then wrapped around the tin. It is said to help prevent the edges of your cakes from overbrowning. I'm just going to run a longer knife under the cake. This should sit for another 20 minutes or so to cool down a little bit more before slicing. It is perfect served warm or at room temperature. Can't wait to try it. And there is that beautiful texture of an olive oil cake. Just a drizzle of creme fraiche. It's a beautiful cake. The texture looks perfect. Let's give this a try. Without the creme fraiche. Big bite. Lemon. Lemon just pops. Then there's the texture of this cake. It's amazing. It's a very close texture. It's very moist. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't want to use the word dense, but it is like dense as opposed to a light sponge cake. It is amazing. Let me try it with a little creme fraiche. The beautiful thing about this cake, it's not overly sweet at all. By the way, you cannot taste the chocolate in it. No, the chocolate was in there for technical reasons, which I don't understand. But, oh my God. Slightly warm, it's absolutely perfect. At room temperature also. I just probably wouldn't eat cold coming out of the refrigerator because it sort of mutes the flavor and it makes the texture a little denser as well. So, room temperature or gently warmed. Some whipped cream, creme fraiche, or you can use some vanilla ice cream as well, or just by itself with this dusting of powdered sugar. Like I said at the beginning, you can play around with these flavors. So keep the recipe intact, but substitute orange zest for the lemon zest, orange juice for the lemon juice. You could even add, if you have maybe a tablespoon of Grand Marnier orange liqueur. The other thing is take out the vanilla and put in some almond extract. Absolutely amazing. Want to take it up a notch more? Thinly sliced almonds over the top of this. A dusting of powdered sugar and it's perfection. So seriously, if you've never had a beautiful olive oil cake with lemon, now's the time to try it. Please make this gorgeous cake. It is absolutely incredible. You will like it. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. It's really helpful. I'm going to eat this cake, a portion or two, and I hope to see you back here again soon. So until next time, mind yourself. Bye.